The dream of easily transportable electronic medical records finally becomes a reality. This will allow patients to easily transmit information from one doctor to another, even if they're different networks and using different record-keeping systems. No matter what system they use, they're all transferable. The new standards will also make it simple for patients to access their own personal health records. I don't want to see mine, please. I don't want to see. I don't know about you. They have all sorts of things, sir. They can tell you exactly what your problem is going to be in 6 years. We can do it. You know, they have all these different things. I don't know if they work or not, but I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. If they got a problem, I don't want to know about it right now. But it is amazing what they're doing. I don't know. Does it actually work? Can they do that? All right. Well, then I'm glad I said I don't want to know. But thanks to this announcement, healthcare providers across the country will also finally be able to kill the clipboard. It's an expression that's used, capital, with a capital C, kill the clipboard. Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button. Just a button and you're all set, and all the information the doctor needs will be immediately transmitted.
So there you have it. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites. So, as you heard, Trump was introducing this new healthcare tracking system, which will allow you to transfer your medical records from one doctor to the next, okay? So when you go into doctor's offices or appointments, you don't have to fill out the paperwork anymore, okay? Whether you're going from your primary physician to another physician, you don't have to worry about what? Filling out tedious paperwork. As he said, kill the clipboard, all right? Because he wants to introduce a new medical tracking system, all right? And it has all the bells and whistles and the outs of ends of what? The mark of the beast, okay? Because why? When you leave your job and you get fired and you go to another job, you're not going to have to fill out application or paperwork, or what do you call it? Your W-2 forms, all right? All that's going to be transferred over to your new job, all right? See, what he's doing, he's introducing this to the people gradually, all right? He's just not going to outright come out and say what it is. No, he's going to use sleight of hand. Who can complain about using this for medical or healthcare purposes? We've all been it. We've all been there, sitting in the waiting room, filling out all that paperwork, or even worse, they tell you that you can go and fill it out online. But now, with this new tracking system, you don't have to worry about all that, all right? Because once it got your medical record, your physician can see what you're allergic to, what you taking, what you ain't, and it's going to be all on their records, man. Same thing with a company or an employer. They're going to have your birth certificate, because why? They're going to transfer it all over to the new company where you go to work at. All right. And this is going to be part of the beast system. And it's going to be spearheaded by that what? That RFID, radio frequency identification microchip. Okay. You're not going to have to keep filling out W-2s when you leave this job to go to the next job. You're not going to have to keep filling out doctor work when you change from this physician to another physician. No, you're going to be all your information is going to be in the beast system, man. Okay? Every doctor's going to know what's wrong with you. Every employer is going to have all your social security, your driving license, your identification, whatever they need for you to be hired. Okay? It's going to all be put inside the B system, and they setting it up right before your own eyes. All right? And they're telling you about it right in front of your face. So it says, Trump administration is launching a new private health tracking system with big tech's help. See? And this reminds me of that 1980s Batman where Joker says, wait till they get a load of me. Okay? Wait till you get a load of this, man. All right? Wait till you see that Trump is more than likely going to be the one that introduced the mark of the beast, man. All right? His tenure is synced up with them trying to get everything done by 2030. Okay? So there may very well be no other president after Donald J. Trump, man. He may be the one, and we believe that will introduce this system abroad to everyone. Okay? So as Joker said in the 1980 Batman movie, wait till they get a load of me. I believe it was 1988 or 89, I'm not sure. But that Joker, man, he's something else. And this is a Joker right here, man. All right, he's doing the deed or the work of the elites, man. All right. So it goes on to read, the Trump administration announced it is launching a new program that will allow Americans to share personal health data and medical records across health system. This is the introduction, because why? You're going to be able to share more than health care or health data. You're going to be able to share all your personal data as well. When you leave your job, let's say you get fired or you're looking for another job, you ain't going to fill out an application. You may not even have to fill out a resume, all right? You're going to go into your employer. They're going to have everything already in the system, in the quote-unquote cloud, and you just going to transfer everything over to that new employee that you go to, okay? And the days of tedious paperwork and all that stuff is all but over. It's obsolete. It says, this program will allow Americans to share personal health data and medical records across health systems and apps run by private tech companies, which they already got. And see, you people, I don't want my information handed out to these private. They got your information already, man. Get over it. This is the age of technology, all right? Surveillance. They got everything on you, man. There's no more privacy, man. All right? And this beast system is just going to amplify it, all right? You got a phone, you being tracked, all right? You got a car, you being tracked, okay? You're being tracked everywhere. CCT, closed circuit television, street lights, grocery stores. You walk in there, you're being tracked. You in a surveillance age, man. You use a debit card or credit card. It got a chip in it. You're being tracked. All right? They get ready to crash the system, man, and bring in this beast system. Cash is going to be no longer available. All right? Everything will be tracked. All right? Right down to the last penny. And they get rid of the penny. They already got rid of the penny. All right? So it says, promising that will make it easier to access health records. See? So this is the thing. It's a thing of convenience, okay? Sitting in a waiting room, filling out all those paperwork. No, you come in, the doctor already know what's wrong with you. You probably just come in just for the, just for the optics, okay? Just to see your doctor and shake their hand and say hello, because they already got everything. All right? You don't need to go there to get the medicine because they can deliver it to you. So it's just to be a formal introduction or a formal just to stay in touch with your doctor so you can see face to face. Okay? Now, you may need to go in for a physical or a checkup or something like that. But for the most part, everything is already going to be in the data system, man. Okay? It says health records in more than 60 companies, including major tech companies like Google, Amazon, and Apple, as well as healthcare giants like United Health. If you can't see this right now, you need bifocals, man. It says United Health Group and CVS Health have agreed to share patient data in the system. See? These little mom and pop physicians and all that, they're going to be wiped out, man. They ain't going to be able to compete against Amazon, Google, Apple, United Health, what else? CVS Health. And it's just going to be big time corporations, man. That's it. You looking at the system, the B system being finished as we talk, man. It says, have agreed to share patient data in the system. The initiative will focus on diabetes and weight management. See, they rather have you sick and ill than to tell you that your diet is poor, okay? And to give you better quality food. Because what? It's big business, man. All right? These companies, and pharma is big business. Okay? I said it like that so it could break up the algorithm. But pharma is big business. Okay? Keeping you under the weather, as they say, is big business, man. They don't want you getting healthy. They don't want you finding out what's wrong with you. They want you docile and enjoying the convenience of life. They keep you under the weather, if you get what I'm saying. That's how they want you. All right? They don't want you vibrant and eating real foods and growing your own foods. Because why? Then you don't need them. Okay? So they keep you occupied by giving you convenience, all right? Giving you a car, okay? Giving you a job, giving you this, giving you that, all right? But guess what? They can take it back from you as well, man, all right? So this is why the people is going to need this system. Because why? They don't have no self-reliance. They don't know how to grow food. They don't know how to build houses. They don't know how to do anything, okay? So that's why you're going to come to this devil for all your wants and needs, man. It says the initiative will focus on diabetes and weight management, see? That helps patients in digital tools such as QR codes and apps that register patients for check-ins or track medications. This is where they want you. Medicated. Okay? Read it. They don't want natural herbs. They don't want you out in the sun. They don't want you exercising. They don't want you eating right. They want to taint the food. Okay? They want to add all type of different chemicals, dyes, cholesterol, sodium, refined flour, refined sugar, corn syrup, cornstarch. They want all this shit, man. All because why? They say it preserves the shelf life. It makes the food taste better. You see? If we had to use natural ingredients, then the shelf life would in turn only be a couple of days. Because after that, the food would be rotten. But they rather spend billions on pharmaceuticals and medications than to give you good food, man, so that your body can thrive. No, they rather you come to them because they know if they keep you what? SICK, then you rely on them for everything. All right? See, they're not here to make you well or to make you better. All right. They're here to pass on the next ailment over to you. All right. It says, for decades, America healthcare, and it's no surprise why you see all these healthcare out here in Florida, especially Advent, popping up left and right. All right. Over there where I stay, they took down the Holy Land and put up a damn Advent health system or healthcare, man. What does that tell you? All right. That is big business, man. All right. It says, for decades, America's healthcare networks have been overdue for a high-tech upgrade. Yeah, because it's big business, man, and it's leading up to the mark of the beast. It says, President Donald Trump said during an event with company CEOs at the White House on Wednesday, the existing systems are often slow, costly, and incompatible with one another. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age. Wait till they get a load of me. Wait till they get a load of me. All right, let's get a few precepts. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. It reads, and he causes all. Who is the he? Once again, Esau, Edom, man. The so-called white man, particularly these elites, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. See? So in order for you to receive health care, in order for you to receive food, in order for you to receive anything, you will have to take that mark, that charagma, and in that charagma is going to have everything. Because why? It's connected to the cloud. All right? Let's look up that word charagma. Let's look up that word mark. In the Greek, it is
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
charagma. All right? And it goes into a stamp, a imprinted mark. It goes of the mark stamp on the forehead or the right hand as badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, fiend carved, sculpture, graven, work, idolatrous images. Let's go to the root word. Karax.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
And it says a pale or stake, a palisade, all right? And if you look at a stake or a pale or a palisade, it almost looks like a hypodermic needle, all right? Which is going to be the instrument or tool that they use to insert the RFID microchip underneath your skin, all right? And in the microchip is going to have the writing, or we're going to look at the next word, grapho, which is going to what? House all your information. Because why? It's going to be plugged into the quote unquote cloud, the beast system, all right? Where everything is going to be transferred at the drop of a dime, man. Instant transaction, instant this, instant that. It's all convenient. That's how they're going to sell it to you. You see, that's how they're selling it to you now. So we go into the word G1125, and it is
Strong's G 1125. Grapho. Grapho.
and it goes into to write with reference to the form of letters. So all this paperwork that you writing right now, when you go and fill out a job, when they tell you to come in and fill out the paperwork, the W-2s and all that, that's going to be all on your RFID microchip. When you go into these doctor offices and they tell you to come in and fill out the paperwork and they give you that clipboard and that pen and you got to sit down there and write all that, that's going to be all on the RFID microchip, which is going to be housed in the cloud, or these like he wanted to do in the beginning, these what do you call them? These warehouses that's housing these computers, all right? I know Project Stargate is the whole thing, but the information will be housed in these in these quote unquote warehouse type environments that have all these computers and stuff like that. All right. So it says to write with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing. All right. So everything is going to be on your RFID microchip, your social security, your birth certificate, everything. Everything is, when you go and get a new physician, it's going to transfer over to that new physician instantly. When you go get a new job, instantly. When you update your license, instantly. Everything is going to be instantly. Convenience right there, man. Okay? This is how they're selling it to you. We're witnessing it. We've seen it in the video. Convenience. Okay? So now, let's go back. Finish that off. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, a charagma, in their right hand or in their forehead. See? So either you get it in your right hand or in your forehead. Let's say you don't have any limbs. They can put it inside your forehead. Okay? It says, in that no man or woman or child or infant might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast. It's going to be all embedded in it, or the number of his name. See? So when your infant, your newborn is born, they're going to give that baby a chip. Okay? Put it in them right out the womb, man. And if you don't take it, guess what? You won't have deliverance. All right. And how many of you know how to how many of you know how to deliver a baby on your own? Okay. You haven't been taught that. You've been taught to rely on the system. So guess what? You're going to go down there, get that charagma, get that mark for you and your baby. All right. Your newborn. All right. That's why it says, woe to them that give suck in that day. Okay. Woe to them that are with what? Child in that day. All right. Because why? There ain't going to be this devil ain't going to show no sympathy because you got a newborn. I don't want my newborn to be chipped. Well, go deliver him on your own. I don't want my child to be chipped. Well, he ain't getting no food. He ain't getting no service. He ain't getting no Medicare. He ain't getting no health care. All right. This devil ain't going to have no pity on you. All right. That's why it says, woe to them that give suck in that day, man. Matthew 24. And 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, man. What days? The days of this great tribulation that's fastly approaching, man. This devil isn't going to have any sympathy, man. Why? Because we're reading it. Revelation 13. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that what? And that no man or woman or child or baby or newborn might buy or sell, meaning that they're not going to be on this man's grid, his system, okay? Buying and selling what? How you sustain your living, your life, all right? That's the grid. That's the system. That's the beast. If your child isn't chipped, then how are they going to come to school? How are they going to receive visits to the doctors? They're not. This damn devil isn't going to let you come in and you're going to think he's going to feel sorry for you because you got a newborn. And we reading it. Woe or destruction to you that have it. Because this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. Revelation 12 and 12. he knows he has but a short time. All right. He want everyone chipped, even your little ones. All right. You see, and this is why we tell you to what? To repent and throw yourself at the feet of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, that they may have mercy on you in that time. All right. This is what we're doing. Okay. It says, in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 666, 666, Chi, Psi, stigma. Going to that word stigma, it means to prick, okay? They're going to prick or insert that hypodermic needle underneath your epidermis, your skin, and insert that charagma, that mark with the graph or the writing on it, that's going to be everything house of you on it in the cloud, in those data centers, you know, that's going to be the size of warehouses, because everybody's going to have their own data, man, in the cloud, okay, as part of the beast system, all right? So that stigma, that Chi-Psi stigma, that 666, is going to be the prick that's going to take the what? The initial chip and put it inside of you, that palisade, that stake, that pale, all right? So you've been warned, man, and you seeing the writings being put in place right before your own very own eyes, man. All right. So this is where we at with it, okay? Let's see. I'm trying to think of a precept. It's right there in the back of my mind. I'm trying to see if I can bring it forward to the front, if it be the Lord's will. Let me see. See if somehow I can bring it up. Here it is. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. It reads, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now litteth will lit, until he be taken out of the way. See, so the mystery of iniquity already worked, man. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get this in a different translation. It says, For this lawlessness is already at work secretly. All right. They've already been putting this together behind closed doors, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way. Wait till they get a load of me, as Joker said. All right. For the mystery of lawlessness doeth already work. Only there is one that restraineth now, until he be taken out of the way. Right. So if it wasn't for the elect's sake, there would be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See, this man is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Revelation 12:12, man. All right. Ain't no child, no baby, no woman. None of them are going to be saved. All right. who is that? Jeremiah says, is it Jeremiah or is it in Matthew where it says, where now do I see man with their hand on their loins like they giving birth? Because he says, do man, let's see if we can go there. Come back to this. Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30:6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. So a man doesn't travail with child. This is what Jeremiah is seeing. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail. So how much more you women, you small children, you infants. This devil ain't gonna be nice. All right? He gonna be nice with it, but he ain't gonna be nice to you. All right? Oh, you want that service? Come on and get chipped. It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who? The elect. Okay? So this man, he's working his lawlessness. He's getting ready to come forth with the mark of the beast, the microchip, and he's putting the finishing touches on the system as we speak right before your very own face or eyes, however you want to say it. All right? Using this so-called quote-unquote healthcare track system. 2 Thessalonians 2:7. Yahweh came through just in time, man. Oh, hey, that precept came and we got it. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. So it's already here, man. Okay? As it says, the prophecy is for a time, for a specific time. Though it tarry, wait for it. This prophecy is coming, man. This microchip, which is going to be implemented by Esau Edom, but it's the Lord's microchip because he's using it. He's using them to bring forth this for what? Judgment. Okay? It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now litteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. See, soon as he get this chip made mandatory and the missiles come, that's when Yahushua shows up and take this man out of power and all other nations. Okay? I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Yahweh's coming to take, Yahweh's sending Yahushua to come take all the crowns, man. Ain't gonna be no co-rulers ruling joint heirs with Yasharallah. Ain't gonna be no Moab. Ain't gonna be no Ham. Ain't gonna be no Elam. Ain't gonna be nobody but Yasharallah ruling in the kingdom, man. All right? With Yahushua as the head. Okay? Ain't gonna be no co-heirs ruling. It's gonna be Yasharallah and Yasharallah only, man. Prince of the power. Who's the power? Yahweh. All right? So it says, that's the mystery. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. It's already here, man. You see? And you got Israelites that's playing games like they don't know what the hell the mark of the beast is. It's an embargo. It's sin. It's sleeping with a so-called white woman. It's everything except for the RFID microchip, man. All right? They playing games and time is running out. It says, only he who now litteth will let. Esau Edom, okay? This man Trump is going to be the one to more than likely bring it to the forefront. Wait till they get a load of me, the Joker. It says, until he be taken out of the way. That's the same one that causes all to what? Receive that mark. All right? He going to be taken out of the way. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau, the so-called white man, is the end of this world, and Jacob, the so-called black man, the so-called Latino man, the so-called Native American man, the Israelite man, is the beginning of it that followeth through who? Yahushua. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay? We got next. All right? We gonna take the kingdom. We ain't asking for it. We taking it. What part don't you get? All right? Take as a possessor. We gonna possess this kingdom. Yahushua gonna come take this kingdom from this man. Isaiah 63 from the top. Who is that coming from Basra with garments dyed? Yahushua. I treaded the wine press alone, man. He's taking it. He ain't asking this man for shit. All right? All this military, all this everything is going to be taken out. I saw Satan fall from heaven as lightning. Quick. And he ain't talking about no damn little red devil. Satan is the adversary. All right? That son of perdition. Esau, Edom, man. So for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way, man. All right? He's getting ready to make his move, man. And y'all out here bullshitting. Okay? You ain't gonna be getting these warnings pretty soon, man. All right? These warnings, the prophets ain't gonna be blowing the trumpet pretty soon, man. All right? Repenting, hey, you ain't gonna know not to repent. All right? You're gonna be out there on your own. Left to your own devices. Let's go ahead and close out like that. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Left to your own devices. Not sober, not vigilant, just helpless. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober. Be vigilant. Repent. Turn back. Be converted. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. See? And you playing games, man. You ain't taking heed to the warning. All right? That multitude that Esau, Edom, that madman is getting ready to come in like that flood, man. And you bullshitting. You taking it lightly. Okay? You see? Until you don't see the prophets out no more. Once you go out there and you got used to the prophets out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even in the middle of the week, then you're going to see they ain't out there one week. They ain't out there next week. And you going to know what time it is. All right? But you ain't going to know what time it is, man. Because why? You wasn't sober and you wasn't vigilant. Okay? So be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.